Officials in Cape Town, South Africa say it's just 92 days away from having to shut off most water taps because of a severe drought. They are calling April 21st day zero.
The Western Cape continues to feel the pressures of the worst drought to hit that province in a century.
It is something we're concerned about. We're seeing job losses in industries or organizations that depend very much on water.
Give me your tears, I will make fire from them. Give me your pour, I will make gods of them. Give me your...
There have already been scuffles here. Security guards now monitor the site to prevent violence from breaking out.
And imagine no water. How will it be? Chaos. It's going to be terrible. And we're not looking forward to that time.
Water. You don't really realize how precious and valuable this resource is until you are restricted from it. Hi, my name is Francois, and usually my channel is all about traveling, but since a lot of you out there are curious about what is happening in Cape Town at the moment, I decided to answer some of your questions that you had for me in the previous video, and I will try answering them the best I can. Now, in my previous video, I shared some stories and experiences and what it was like to have a holiday in Cape Town at the moment, and the feedback I got was just phenomenal, and I want to thank you guys for that. I've also seen comments asking me a few things about the situation and other comments sharing how we should save water. So let's go through them. Sword asked, can't you use the seawater and treat it, or even use it to flush and wash, or dig wells? Now that is a very good question, and the answer is yes, you could. They are currently building 3 desalination plants at the moment, but the problem is that these desalination plants combined will only be able to provide 16 million liters per day, where the average usage in Cape Town is about 587 million liters a day. You can see the problem there, but it's something at least. Another problem is that they only recently started constructing on these desalination plants, and the first one will only be up and running by March of this year. As for using seawater for domestic use, yes, it is possible, but you probably have to purify it a bit first. Salt water will probably be very bad for the pipe infrastructure in Cape Town, since salt water is known to corrode concrete pipes away. And another problem is that the sewage plants rely heavily on biological organisms to break down raw sewage, and these organisms cannot live in salt water as well. For washing your clothes with salt water, yes, it is possible. Probably have to boil the water first to kill all the microorganisms that's living in the water. But salt water does not lather up soaps very well, and it doesn't rinse cleanly either. But the answer to your question is still yes, it is possible. You just have to purify the water first. For using groundwater, Cape Town actually has a lot of groundwater. This graph right here shows actually how much water there is underground. A lot, actually. Cape Town has 3 aquifers at the moment, and they are busy expanding them so that they would be able to provide 150 million liters of water for the Cape Town residents by the end of this year. But, interestingly, Dr. Kevin Winters from the University of Cape Town's Future Water Institute stated that, let me just read this, there is potential to manage the recharge and to extract water in a managed aquifer approach, but the impact on surface water systems and ecological services requires further research and analysis. There is opportunity and risk that must be understood, and it must begin with research that is able to understand ground and surface water interactions within strategic regions of the Cape Flats aquifer and across the city. And you can't help but actually agree with that statement. If you're going to extract large amounts of groundwater from Cape Town, how will that impact Cape Town in the long term? So definitely some more research is needed in that regard. The next question is from the Beard Bringer. Cool name. Great video, and sorry to hear about the water shortage. What measures are being taken by the government to solve the crisis, or are there already solutions to the problem? And then he says that he experienced something similar in Sweden due to the fact that it's so cold there. That sounds tough, man. That just explains the origins of Vikings even more. In any case, to answer your question, I think I already answered some of them. I can just add a little bit of what is currently happening in regards with the politics. As some of you might know, we have three spheres of government. The national government, that's in charge of the funding. We have provincial governments, that's in charge of every province. And then we have the local governments in each sector of the province that deals with service delivery. Now, the problem is that the national government and the West Cape provincial government are controlled by two different parties who are oppositions of one another. So you can see why this could be a problem. In the end, now everyone is just playing the blame game and nothing really seems to be done on time. Right, next question is from Veronica Gombar. Are people leaving or planning to leave? Is Pretoria going through or about to go through the same? This is quite historical. They talk about tourists, but I don't see how many people would want to visit Cape Town now. Many visionaries have and are investing in potable water. Maybe they've read Dune too much, but makes sense to me. I don't know what that means. Thank you. Well, no, thank you. Thank you for the comment. I really appreciate that. To answer your question, starting with the first one, currently there is not enough evidence and data to know for sure if the drought is causing people to leave Cape Town yet. But we will probably be able to see in the months to come if a significant number of people moved out of the mother city due to the drought. However, from what I've researched, most Cape Townians are pushing through and helping one another, and they're not giving up. And they're vigorously trying to save water as best as they can. There's just a few people who's just not following these rules, and that's impacting everyone else negatively. So, Cape Town, you guys have to sort them out quickly. Currently, Pretoria and Johannesburg are experiencing a technical drought, and there is some minor restrictions in place, but it's nothing severe compared to what is happening in Cape Town. Johannesburg and Pretoria, the whole Gauteng area actually avoided the bullet this year, but we will see how it will be in the next years to come. When it comes to tourism in Cape Town, interestingly, there was a boom in international tourism December of 2017. Cape Town International registered almost 130,000 tourists from overseas, which is a whopping 11.5% increase from 2016. However, domestic arrivals did decrease by 2.2%. But since the news of Day Zero went viral recently, there has been reports of cancellation of holiday trips this year in Cape Town. So we will also have to wait and see how tourism will be affected in the months to come. Milton Westy asked, looks like it was a dry place to begin with. Where's the trees? Okay, there is trees in Cape Town. They're not dead. they're still there. They're still good. And it's just the dams that's running dry, and dams are the bulk source of potable water. You wouldn't actually expect that Cape Town is having a drought when you drive through the city, since trees and mountains and everything is still quite green. Next comment from Gerard Walsh says, shouldn't only use that bucket in between turning the shower on and off. Catch all that water. Use it to flush the toilet. No potable water should be used for toilets. Embrace the cold water that first arrives from the shower head. It is your liquid privilege to have running water in your home. Well, Gerard, that is true. You're hitting the nail right on the head there. I stayed in Cape Town in December while it was still in level 5 restrictions. That basically meant that every person is only allowed to use about 87 liters of water per day. But since 1st January, the restrictions went up to level 6, and they will be increasing it again to level 6B by 1st of February. And that means you may only use 50 liters of water per day. Just to put that in perspective, an average 8-minute shower uses 62 liters of water. And an average bath uses 80 liters of water. That's quite crazy, right? This is already way over the limit for each Cape Townian. This reminds me of a weird video that I saw recently. And may I show it to you guys? This might not be the right time to show something funny, but this could actually help some Cape Townians if they decided to pull this off as well. Okay, that makes no... I'm just going to show the video.
Filmando?
Alright.
Agora, atenção, gente. Vou mostrar para vocês a
Could someone in the comments just please tell me what
economia
language this is?
existe na história
I would
da
like to know.
humanidade. A história da água. Você toma banho com um baldezinho desse aqui, que só é 3 litros d'água. Como? É a coisa mais simples do mundo. Aprenda a economizar. Essa é a dica. Você pega aqui, ó, mudando, ó. Olha aqui. Vai se banhando aqui. A água tá pouca, olha. Aí você faz só, ó. De novo, passou do foreba, ó. Limpou o foreba. Quem tem xerereca, limpa a xerereca. Ô, coisa boa. Olha. Aprenda a economizar. Só não presta para quem tem encher. Porque esse balde não vai caber. Olha aí, ó.
Weird video. Okay, but the point is that this could actually work. And you know that saying, if it looks stupid but it works, it ain't stupid. Alright, to conclude, the West Cape government did recently report that if everyone who lives in Cape Town can bring their water usage down to below 500 million litres of water per day, there is then a chance that they can avoid day zero. So, there is still hope if everyone works together now. Alright, I think that will be it for today's video. If anyone out there has a comment for me, just throw it down there in the comments below and I will answer them in the next update video. I want to thank you guys for watching. It's been a privilege to be able to share some of these questions and answers for you. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up. It really helps me out a lot. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe. And I'll see you, as always, in the next venture. Have a great day and cheers.